Hi, nice to see you.
I'm so happy to finally meet the queen of scary movies who doesn't love to see scary movie herself.
I know, I'm a contradiction. I'm a walking, living contradiction.
伤很大的 Mike Myers 又回来了。当然，这终极回归又怎能少了和他爱恨情仇交织荧幕44年的 Jamie Lee Curtis。1978年 ，Jamie 才19岁，大荧幕初体验就献给月光光新欢欢 Halloween。这么多年来，他在影坛诸多代表作有多经典，有多传奇，不用多说，更是惊悚片迷心中唯一的恐怖片之后。Do you still remember your first time meeting with Jamie? Were you nervous at all?
I was nervous, of course. Yeah, I remember I was put in touch with her through Jake Gyllenhaal, who I'd just done a movie with, and I was telling him how my ambition was. I had a secret ambition to get Jamie Lee Curtis to jump back into the Halloween franchise. He's like, you know, that's my godmother. And I was like, I did not know that. And so then he hooked up a phone call, and I was on the streets of New York and the phone rang. And I told her what my idea was, and it just kind of was a long pause, and she said, send the script. And then I went out to LA and met up with her and talked about it, and yeah, it's been a beautiful journey, I'll say.
I met Jamie and Judy Greer at the same time for a rehearsal in Charleston for the 2018 movie. And I don't think I mentally understood what was happening until like afterwards. When I left, I was just shaking. I got in my car and I closed the door and I just started crying because I was like, what is my life? These two women that I've idolized for so long and looked to as inspiration are now my colleagues in this film, and that was really humbling to be able to kind of sit across from those two.
I heard that on the very first day of shooting the original Halloween, you went home thinking you were going to be fired. What happened?
You know what? Honestly, I had a great first day, and I thought, and then the phone rang at my house that night, and my roommate at the time said to me that John Carpenter was on the phone. And usually, I had heard examples where people are fired after their first day. It's, creatively not working out for the director. And I was so afraid. I picked up the phone. I was like, hello. And then he couldn't have been nicer. He was calling to say how great the day was. And honestly, it's the first time and only time that has ever happened.
而第一集他在片中当保姆带的孩子，在最后这2集也精彩回归，让死忠铁粉满满的回忆杀。How about your first day on set for the original one? Do you still remember?
I was having fun on the set as a child, but seeing myself in the movie as a child was very scary.
Why?
Well, because you don't realize, what you're doing. You're just saying your lines and you're acting, and my mind as a child, like, this is pretend. And then I saw the movie and I realized the other things that they were filming, and people are getting killed and stabbed, and then to see it all pieced together, it's scary for a child to see themselves in that scenario.
You didn't see it in 1978, right? Because you were supposed not allowed to see the R-rated movie?
No, I saw it. I saw it. My mom asked me if I wanted to bring my best friend to the premiere of the movie. And then I asked my best friend, her mom said yes, and she thought it was a cute little movie about Halloween, trick-or-treating maybe. And we were both traumatized, and we both had to sleep with our moms until we were 15 years old. So that didn't go over so well.
Juliet, that was so fun.
And I noticed that you and Jamie have the same Final Girl t-shirt on set. I love it.
I know. I'm very proud to be a final girl. I really am, especially this many years to be surviving. So I'm absolutely proud to be a final girl.
What was the most treasured moment with her to you?
The most treasured moment? every day, every day, because you wake up and you go to work, and the work can be very overwhelming or daunting or frustrating, and inevitably it doesn't go exactly as you'd planned, but you have a collaborator with her that is full of support and encouragement and optimism, and there to help us realize our vision, and at the same time bring an authenticity of a character that she's been living with for 44 years. So there's a beautiful symphony in that.
She is also the set den mother. She is always 45 minutes earlier to set. And tell us more about it.
About that energy.
I'm gonna clean my glasses with your shirt.
What, David? What? People are sharing lots of information with me today.
It's very rare in my line of work that people consistently are early to work and bringing ideas to the table that are of a great quality, and there to support people in the bad times too. There's a lot of people that have a great idea and then get frustrated or turned off about something, and she's always seeming turned on and electric, and bringing that magnitude to a character like Laurie is very important for the franchise, and she understands that. But then she's also there if the key grip's having a bad day and needs a pep talk outside, or go for a walk, or take a deep breath, and she's there to remind you to breathe.
Why 45 minutes, not 60 or 30? What did you do for that period of time?
I'm early. I was early to this room. I wake up ready to work. I wake up, if that's my job, I wake up ready to go to work. I don't want to chit chat. I don't want to eat. I don't want to stand around talking to people. I want to work. And so I am early to work because that's why I'm there. I'm not there to sit alone in a trailer and, play Wordle on my phone. I'm there to create art. And I'm hungry for that. And I stand around. I also like the people I work with. So I also am a cheerleader. I get to kind of connect with the creative team every day so that we all are connected together in this beautiful way. It's part of my job as the leader of the pack. That's my job, and I love it. Oh, big heart to you. Put it over your heart. Put it over your heart. There you go. There.
Yes. You always top yourself by making us scream a lot no while watching this series. And how did you get inspired and reinvent each death scene? Which one was the most difficult or challenging for you?
Well, each death scene is its own art project. And they all have their challenges. A lot of it is trying to find the right light to figure out where the mystery is, or where the sleight of hand, as we refer to it as, because we've got an amazing makeup department. Chris Nelson and his makeup effects department are really amazing and inventive. And then it's when you want to be in the broad light and really see it. Like we have a scene in a murder in a radio station that is wild and unlike any kill in any of the Halloween franchise movies. And sometimes there's that, and then other times we want it to be emotional and slow and impactful and that way, and very realistic. So we're exploring, we're always experimenting, trying new things. Some kills don't even make the final cut. We do them as an exercise, and we see if it inspires anything, and then we get into the edit and think, oh, that's too much, or we don't need it from a pacing standpoint. There's a lot of reasons that we'll edit or fine-tune something in post-production.
And this role is definitely not a light one, so how did you release all the tension each day after work, especially after some extreme action, killing, yelling, traumatizing scene with all the practical effects?
The drive home for me is always so important, to just play some music, and I drive myself to and from set for that reason, so that I can kind of have a come down and a moment of solitude before I kind of unwind. And for me, it's really important that the role comes off with the makeup to have longevity making a film like this over the course of a couple months. So it was a lot of deep breathing and soothing piano music.
Now, after 7 movies, 44 years, this one character changed your life forever. So what was the most unforgettable, funnest, or strangest fan encounter throughout all these years?
you're gonna laugh at me. The best thing about these movies are you, the audience. It's the audiences that make these movies. It's the audiences that make these movies successful. It's the reason we make them is the audiences who love them. I will tell you this story. The original movie had come out, 1978. I went to a theater in Hollywood, and I sat in the back, and when Laurie Strode leaves the house with the babysitting, and she walks across the street, it's a really long walk across the street, and the camera looks at the house, then looks at Laurie, then looks at the house, then looks at Laurie, and then looks at the house. In the middle of this theater, it was pin silent, and this woman stood up in the middle of the theater and screamed at the screen, "Don't go in there, there's a killer in the house." And in that moment, I understood everything that John Carpenter had tried to do as a filmmaker was to create a character that you cared about so that you didn't want her to get hurt. And that was really the moment where I went, wow, I get it now.
That's what I did.
Okay.
See all these serious yelling, screaming, and say, no, please don't.
You meet a lot of interesting fans of Halloween, also from the housewives, you know, they're very, very passionate, let's just say. But I will have people waiting outside of, you know, restaurants or places they hear that I'm at because they're trying to get my signature for a poster that I'm the only one who hasn't signed it because I've never gone to these conventions. So they will drive like literally across, 2-3 states to come to get a signature. And I kind of think, this is a little bit scary to think this person drove this far in the middle of the night. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and they're waiting outside of my dressing room. But so far they've always been very nice, but I do kind of get a little like, yikes.
Jamie Lee Curtis of Halloween.
I heard everyone cry on their last day. Did you?
Of course. It's an incredibly emotional experience wrapping any picture, but wrapping one that we've been making with the same people for essentially 5 years is something that was very powerful. And I also, one of the most emotional days I think on set was when Jamie Lee wrapped. She wrapped a couple of days before me, and I went to set. I wasn't working that day, and I went to set, and we were able to kind of have this communal experience of closing that chapter together.
I did. I get very emotional at the end of a movie always, but especially with this one because, it's the end.
Did you give a big speech or anything like that?
No, they kind of gathered around because we each finished on different days. So they would gather the cast and crew around and say, that's a wrap for Kyle. And then, I get a little lump in my throat. I get like, I always get like that since I'm a little girl. I don't like the last day of filming ever.
Come on, let's go.
Hi Taiwan, it's Kyle Richards here. You're going to absolutely love Halloween Ends. Be prepared to be terrified.
Hi Taiwan, you 100% need to go see this film in a theater with the community. It's unparalleled to anything else you've ever seen. You've never seen Michael Myers this way. You've never seen Laurie Strode this way. And it is the epic final conclusion that you've been waiting for 44 years.
And you never see Andy in this way.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wanted to say hello to Taiwan and say we've made a movie that we've worked really hard on trying to take iconic characters like Michael Myers and Laurie Strode and put a spin on it that I don't think anyone's expecting. So it's a movie worth going to the theater, seeing with a lot of people, screaming your heads off, and having a good time at the movies.
Can't wait for the Exorcist report too.
So the reason why you should see Halloween Ends in the biggest movie theaters that you have in Taiwan is because these movies were made for you. The fans is who we made these movies for. And my entire life, my creative life, my personal life is due to you. It's because of your support of Laurie Strode that has given me the career that I have. And I am beyond grateful to you. I am sorry I'm not there in Taiwan, thanking you each individually for your support, but that's how I feel. I am only getting to have this creative life because of people like you. And so we made this movie for you. It's designed for you, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you bring your friends, you get your popcorn, you get your soda, you get some candy, and that you get that communal feeling of that only a horror movie can give you. And I say it with love and gratitude. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna cry.
No.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Hope
you.
to see you one day in person.
God
Thank
bless you. Take good care.
you.
Bye.